Hello everyone, we are going to continue working on our social studies for today, and we are working on Take a Stand on a Public Issue. This is week 7. So last week we talked about what a public policy issue is, which is, if we go back to our highlighted vocabulary word, it is an issue that affects everybody in a community. So an issue that might happen around us. There's also world public policy issues, which we talked about how the coronavirus could be a world public health issue because it's affecting not only us here in Saginaw, but it's also affecting everyone in the whole entire world. So we talked about how to research that issue, and I know I left off my last video on saying I was going to come back and show you in this video some research I came up with in our topic here. So just to review, we were taking a look at a public issue of should dogs have to wear a leash when outside in public. So we're going to continue on filling out this page here. Just to give you a little bit of a heads up, after Thanksgiving break, you will be getting a new public issue that you will be filling out this form all on your own. I will give you some guidance there, but you will be filling it out with your ideas and your own research for a project grade in social studies. That will not be happening until after Thanksgiving break, but just to give you a heads up of where we're going. So today I'm going to keep filling this out for us to give you an idea on how to do the rest of it. So, should dogs have to wear a leash in public? That is the question that we are choosing to look at for our public issue. I post some questions here. Would someone become hurt if they're not wearing a leash? But how would the dog feel if they are wearing a leash? Then we are talking about places I could look for answers for my question. So I said ask people in my community and then also internet resources. So when I decided to research this issue, I decided to use my internet resources, and I did also talk to some people in my own community, which I'll get to when we go on to examining different perspectives. So first, some things I found on the internet. 4.5 million dog bites per year, according to the website Dog Bites. The site had several sources where they gathered the research for, so that is how I knew that it was an appropriate site to find research in. So that is a lot of dog bites, but there's actually around 70 million dogs across our country here. So 4.5 million in comparison to 70 million dogs isn't that many. Plus, our question is asking, should they wear leashes outside? We don't know in that 4.5 million, are those bites happening in somebody's house, or are those bites happening from people who are walking their dog on the street without a leash? So I wish the source would have given me more information on that, but it didn't. So that's where we're at with that. I also wrote down here, dogs can be friendlier off leash and more calm. They don't feel as restricted when they have a leash on them. So for example, in my own life, my dog, he is more stressed when he has that leash on and he can't get to somebody to go say hi because he just wants to run up to everybody and say hi to them. So he is actually more calm when he doesn't have his leash on and he can just walk up to somebody and say hi. In this case, though, I'm also talking about in my own house or in my backyard rather than going on a walk. The last piece of research that I found is this picture right here that I just did a screenshot and I put it into my page. This is actually a law that is in place in Saginaw Township. So this is a law that I took right from our Saginaw Township's website. And it says, it shall be unlawful for the owner or any person having the possession, care, custody, or control, therefore, to permit any dog to run at large in public streets, parks, walks, or other public places within the township, unless the dog is attached to a leash or significant strength, so restraint, so like a harness. So basically this is saying a dog cannot be in public, it cannot be in the streets or on a walk without having a leash on or having some type of restraint to keep it from jumping on people. So that was a law that was actually from Saginaw that I put right in there as part of my research. The next thing we're going to talk about today is examining multiple perspectives. So I might have an opinion in my head, and you might have one already, about that question, should dogs have to wear leashes? Think about it in your head. What do you think? You might already have an opinion. I might have one too, but we're going to examine multiple perspectives, which means we're going to look at different opinions that might not be the same. So for this one here, we're going to go back into our reading here. We're going to read evaluate alternative, oh, nope, that's not what I want. I want this one. Different perspectives. Everyone is unique. We have different perspectives. We can come from different backgrounds. We have had different experiences. We all have different values and beliefs. These things influence our thoughts and decisions about an issue. Things that are very important to one person may not be important to another person. So for example, our dog walking and our leash. If you don't have a dog, maybe this isn't that important to you. But maybe it is if you're scared of dogs. Imagine you are a person who is afraid of dogs. You may have had a bad experience with a dog. You might believe that dogs are dangerous. You might think that dog laws are very important. Another person might love dogs and enjoy running and biking with their dog. This person might not want a leash law. Public policy issues are different because people have different views and ideas. People in a community must work to understand each other to find a solution that works for the common good. So that means to make everybody happy, because everybody might not agree on what the law is that is put in place, because there is going to be different perspectives, different opinions. So let's go back and look at our page here and take a look at what I wrote for examining multiple perspectives on a dog leash. So one of my ways up here that I said, how am I going to find my answers, is I'm going to ask people in my community. And I did that. So I went and talked to one of my neighbors. There's a man, a woman, and then they also have a son. So I wanted to get their opinion on a dog and being dogs on leashes. So let me click on that. I'm going to read what I have here. I asked my neighbor what they thought about dogs on leashes. The woman said that she would feel scared if there was a dog that wasn't on a leash because she's afraid of dogs. And that's a fair point. There are several people who are scared of dogs. Her husband said that he agrees that they should be on a leash, but not because he's afraid, but for the dog's own safety. So think about that. If a dog is not on a leash and it's wandering around, it might go into the road. It might get hit by a car. It might get hurt because it doesn't understand where it's supposed to go without its leash. Their son said that he thinks the dog should not be on a leash because it should be able to run around freely. These are 3 different perspectives, and I love that they all had different answers. It was wonderful to read about that. So I want you to think about how we could come to a possible solution here. So what you're going to do next is we're going to continue on this page later on this week. Tomorrow we will finish it up. But today I would like you to go check out my discussion board question and answer that based on what we talked about today. If you have questions, please let